What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode review for Takt Destiny. This is episode 8, I believe.
Yes.
With me as always, I have Bluesped.
Yeah. So we're picking up immediately after the last episode. Where Tak and Destiny are facing off against what was it, Schindler and Hell. Of course, what happens first? Tak, of course, recklessly attacks Schindler, just pretty much bull rushing him out of nowhere until Hell just pretty much stops him in his tracks. At the same time,
Yeah, Schindler basically provokes him into attacking, he's pretty much angered by the what Schindler, I guess, is saying about what was I think it was just what he was saying about his father or something. That pissed him off.
Yeah, it's he mentions this in previous episodes and how much he resents the Asahina family name, and of course, like you said, Tak pretty much responds to this by trying to attack him. But yeah, Hell stops him in his tracks, and then Destiny tries to fight her off, but of course Tak gets injured in the process. So this leads to Destiny and ending up trying to take him away, and then they hide into this dark, cold cave out in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, this episode, a lot of it is basically conversation between Takt and Destiny, as well as is Anno worrying about what's going on with both of them. But I felt like we got even more character development in this episode as well, especially with Destiny and also with Anna, just because Anna really hasn't thought of Destiny as being, of course, the real Cassette, obviously, because she's technically a different person. But in this episode, Anna starts to reevaluate, I guess, how how she looks at Destiny as, being, I guess, technically her sister or something, or she hasn't really acknowledged Destiny as or something. She's basically just thinking she should be more I guess more friendly towards her, or more sisterly towards her, or something like that. And we also get this conversation between Takt and Destiny, while Takt is severely injured. Of course, Destiny's trying to tend to his wounds. But they're Takt is basically I guess reminiscing a little bit about Cassette, and I guess sort of what Cassette really meant to him. And Destiny's kind of I guess Takt here is starting to see the Destiny does also care about him as well, and Destiny seems to sort of sympathize with the way with, I guess, Takt's feelings towards Cassette. So it's a pretty good scene. It's a fairly long, lengthy conversation. Like I said, it's I felt like it was kind of a majority of the episode was just them talking in the cave. Surprisingly, Schindler and Hell kind of just, I guess, retreat. They don't pursue Takt and Destiny while they retreat into the cave. They kind of just go back to I guess this house and decide to I guess pursue them later, which is kind of weird. I guess they just decided to let them tend to their wounds before they fight them again.
Yeah, and eventually the next day, Destiny, of course, picks up 2 hatchets to try to fight off Hell in the following morning.
Yeah, pretty much Destiny wants to take them on by herself, and I guess let Takt recuperate some more. But this is pretty much, it's pretty obvious Destiny doesn't really stand much of a chance against them.
Yeah, because she's not powered by
Takt isn't really helping her out. So she's just kind of on her own.
Yeah. Eventually, Takt does manage to get to the battle, but of course, this leads into a bit of an argument between Destiny and Takt due to how badly Takt is injured. And but before the battle escalates any further between them, Lenny and Titan finally make their arrival to fend off Hell and Schindler's attacks. But of course, at the end of the fight. Well, no, actually.
I will also mention there seems to be some animosity between Titan and Hell. It seems like I guess they might have some kind of history together or something, considering the way they're interacting with each other.
Same thing with Lenny and Schindler, because Schindler like
Yeah.
looks down on Lenny as being like a failed composer or something like that, and eventually like the battle continues as soon as like Destiny accepts Takt's help help fight off Hell. So once again he lends her his power to help fight off Hell. But of course, the battle all of a sudden ends abruptly once I think it was the head conductor's no, the grand conductor's like music art, like Heaven, arriving in the middle of the battle, and it just ends abruptly by her just like reprimanding Schindler for disobeying orders, and just strips him of all of his powers as a head conductor.
Yeah, and here I was kind of thinking he might be like one of the main villains, but it seems like that kind of is that's not really the case in this episode. I get the feeling there's some like there probably is though some like conspiracy, I guess, within the this organization, and they might have some plan that, for whatever they're planning to do with Takt. But I guess like it makes sense this guy isn't really going to be like the main villain, probably just because of what happened in this episode.
I mean, it did end off on such an anticlimactic note, just due to the fact that Schindler's, I don't know, I felt like, Schindler just got a slap on the wrist for what he's done. I mean, think about like everything he's done prior to this. Like he ordered Hell to blatantly lure D2s into populated areas, including attacking Takt's hometown, which resulted in Cosette being killed in the first place.
I mean, I guess that would make sense if the organization already, like I mentioned, has some kind of nefarious plan for Takt, or they're up to something, and they don't really care so much about the things he did, just the way he did them, I guess. I don't know, but that's the thing. Like, we really don't know if that's the case. Like, if there is some kind of like, if this organization has some kind of evil plot that hasn't really been revealed yet. But I get the feeling that something's going on behind the scenes that we just don't know about yet.
Well, it's the thing is, like, Takt and Anna want to meet with the Symphonica in New York to help out with Destiny's unstable condition. So they're I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see where how that's gonna end up playing out. But of course, the episode ends with Takt, Anna, and Destiny meeting up again, and then of course Anna finally accepting Destiny as her own person, rather than pretending that she's Cosette the entire time. So, and of course she accepts Destiny as her new sister now.
Yeah, that was one of the better parts of the episode too. We also kind of get confirmation that every time that Destiny is in battle, like, it's pretty much sucking. I guess it's sucking Takt's life force or something. Because like there is a scene like where he's kind of like looking. It looks like he's like looking at his body, and there's something on his body, like I guess some like scars or something from him. Like I guess whatever he's enduring whenever Destiny's in battle. So I guess like I said, I guess it pretty much confirms like, yeah, he is. I guess that's what's going on whenever she's fighting, is he's having his life force taken from him or something.
Yeah, it looks like normally every time he gets into battle, you see the right side of his body just changing into this red hueish color. But now, like, after this episode, you see like it's supposedly permanently on parts of his right shoulder now.
Yeah. I kind of like that idea. I kind of hope they kind of like add more to it or something. There is some others. There's another series I saw where it kind of uses that same idea, and I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I thought this is like, overall, I thought it was a fairly decent episode just because of the character development we got, and but then at the same time, like I said, I'm not really sure where the plot is going. I guess they're kind of keeping a lot of things mysterious if they're like depending on what they're going to do with like I said, like whoever the villain's supposed to be, what their plans are, etc.
Yeah.
We still don't really know.
Well, we're close to the end with I think maybe 4 or 5 more episodes left of the show so far. So we'll have to see where.
Do we have like a confirmed episode count? Like, is that actually going to be like a 12, 13 episode series?
Yeah, I figured as much. But overall,
I'm just asking because I don't really know.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels that way.
It could be. I mean, well, considering that this is like an anime original series, we would have to assume that this is going to be at least a 12, 13 episode series.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I did enjoy this episode. Although like my one little criticism was like how abruptly that battle ended the way that it did. But hopefully we'll get to see more of what the Symphonica's real plan is.
Yeah, that's really what I'm waiting for, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.